Hi everybody, I'm Laurie from Laurie's Mechanical Marvels, and welcome to the Monday Club.
It's Monday, it's 7 p.m, and the Bronx are fueled. It's time for the Monday Club, featuring your host, Jennifer Kirk, with the help of Puppet Monkey and a wizard called Gandalf. Featuring the sounds of the Glastonbury Symphony Orchestra and the musical stylings of Gordon the Music Maestro. Let's get ready to loco!
Well, hello there! Big hello to you guys, great to see you, hope to find you well. Welcome back to the Monday Club. I'm still not 100%, but certainly feeling a little bit better than last week. I've actually spent most of the weekend asleep in bed. We did go out filming at the Severn Valley Railway. I don't know if anybody spotted us there, doing some filming on last week, but it kind of wore us out.
That is true. Mind you, the fact that we were basically trying to carry a locomotive home without anyone noticing did make it a little bit strenuous.
Well, there is that. It was
I shouldn't have said that, should I?
Yeah, that London
no.
Pannier, London Transport Pannier L95 was a bit heavy. But
it's always been in our backyard.
Yeah. So a big hello to everybody, and we have a quick word from our sponsor. The Monday Club comes in association with Roca Prototype Models, where detail, accuracy and value for money go hand in hand. With their debut model of SafePack auto racks wowing model railroaders alike, now is your chance to order these in road names and configurations to accurately reproduce auto rack workings from 1974 to the present day on your model railroad. Order today from rocamodels.com and see the full range for yourself. So a big hello to Chalice Valley Rail Productions, Richard Swiderski, Harry Sedgwick, Flymer Chairman 1, Fat Wallet Boy 2, Ralph Davey, Gone Loco, Ben Tullett, Patrick Ling, James Hardy says, Jenny, are you getting any TT? Did you not see my last video? Blackpool Steve, Hayden Jones says, hi ladies and chat. Peter Jackson Cheadle Heath says, hello to all recent arrivals in the chat. Harry Sedgwick, Flymo Chairman 1, Clive Cobold, Southern Train Girl, Krista Duke, S. Eel, great to see you. Hello! Stefan Svensson, 156 Andrew, Robert Steers, MD. Greetings from Montana. Snowing again. Apparently we're going to get snow here, but I haven't seen it yet. But gosh, must be quite cold up there. Not so salty Sea Dog. You both sound a lot better. Thank you very much. George
Yay.
Dongett's Model Railway. Patrick Ling, Skipsy Trains. Alan Pollock says, hi guys, now recovered from Model Rail Scotland. Oswestry Road TMD. Egg Rider, Ian Turvey, Sarah Davis, Mike Finch, Mel's. Railway Days, Iron Horse Red. Oh, stop it! You're typing so quick. Andy T741. Kingspan Cutting, evening to you. Awesome Bricks, greetings to you. Mark Wilson, Ridgeway Park 00, Houston WHAP, Andrew McLeod, the Ellesmead Project, Russell Benton, Martin Hares, Jerry BVR, the Growler Blackwood Engage Layout, Mike at Putnam Junction, Barnabas Junction, the Engine Shed, Malcolm Moore, Johan Shevens says hello from the Netherlands. Probably butchering the pronunciation of your surname. Or is it? Or actually, Dutch would be Skevens.
You don't know.
I really don't know. I'm making things up.
You don't know.
Trains, kits, etc. says recovery from Scotland is a long process. I hope you didn't get the flu that I got at Doncaster. So Stevie Film, we've got so Barnabas Junction says I'm sounding much better this week. I feel a lot better, it must be said.
Taurus Animations Encyclopedia Dominic. That sounds interesting.
Dominic Z, our Kickline correspondent. Great to see you in. Johan Skevens says, almost right. I don't know whether that was to the first or second attempt. Brian Harper says, good afternoon from Canada. Glad the snow is with all in UK. No snow as yet, but Robert Steers over in Montana says he's got snow. So I'm guessing actually, young Mike from KR Models did show me some photographs of Edgemonton, and the snow was thick on the ground. Carlton Tweedle says, getting frosty in Kirkcaldy and Fife. Oh my word. Yeah, so I think we might get a frost tomorrow morning. It's certainly been heading that way. But today, well, hot off the back of just how popular Friday's video proved to be. This was with the Easterner. I know I was sort of moaning, going, oh, I haven't been sent anything to review. And Hornby were like, well, fine, if you're going to whine, go on there, you little wino. And it's like, what? I haven't even opened a bottle of wine. You can't prove anything.
Do you want some wine?
No, I'm all right, thanks. I'm working at midnight.
That's funny. I'll be finishing work just after midnight.
Yeah, hold on. Oh, I think I've lost. Where's it gone? Oh, there it is.
Oh, please don't. I've damaged my ribs.
Well, you'll just have to take it. Go on, take your medicine. Take your medicine.
For those who don't know, when Jen and I were visiting the railway for Wednesday's video, we had a break from filming and played a game of Tig.
Yeah, which was very ill-advised, given we're unfit and in our mid-40s. But it was especially ill-advised for Zoe, because she managed to trip over herself.
I didn't trip over myself. I twinged a muscle, which caused me to go, oh, which put me out of step with my own running, and I fell.
Oh. So we got trains, kits, etc. says Kakodi. So yes, my pronunciation doesn't tend to be that great.
156 Andrew says, Jenny, it's my birthday on Wednesday. Could I ask for a happy birthday song?
Oh,
you can.
Yes.
Happy birthday to you. Squash, tomatoes and stew. Bread and butter in the gutter. Happy birthday to you.
So, Dylan Rupert says, why does the camera look so bright? It just does.
It's its own thing. I tried to shield it from the light there and it doesn't do it.
No, the problem is it's the light that's on me. It's a different camera. It's the spare camera being used at the moment because we had some issues. I haven't really fixed it yet.
I'll try.
George says, hoping for snow, but I don't think we'll get it. Cold rain seems to be more likely for us near the English Riviera. I think you're right. We'll just have freezing rain.
That is not going to work, is it?
Oh, what do you do? Are you breaking it?
It just doesn't want to use the camera.
Mm.
Seriously, it does not want to use the camera, so we're stuck with this one.
Okay, anyway, you stop messing about. And, yeah, so if you saw Friday's video, it's currently hitting around 15,000 views at the moment, which is reasonably good. But it's one that all the naysayers said, oh, TT, it's never going to work. And it does seem to be proving really popular. But I am quite interested to know what your thoughts are on TT. And I think what we have to bear in mind, and this is something that we touched on in Friday's video, is quite simply that TT doesn't appear to be aimed at most conventional modelers. It's not a scale for those who are already well entrenched in modelling and already have your layouts, already picked your scale, N gauge or 00 or O gauge. TT is about providing an all new scale for people starting out, and it's literally, it does exactly what it says on the tin. TT, tabletop, no Gone Loco. It doesn't stand for terrible track. I know they've had an issue with the track. It seems to be slightly stressed from the moulding process, and apparently if you massage it, you get rid of that kind of reverse Brooklyn's banking effect. But certainly there's a really great range of track from Pico, and like you and me, most of us, we wouldn't buy Hornby set track in 00. It's not intended for us. It's not aimed at us. We're using Pico. I'm using all Pico up here. And by the same respect, in TT, there's, I think, a lot of people, as they get developed, will just use the Pico track. Leslie Gilpin Railway says TT is way too big. N still suits me. And I think it's the thing that a lot of people have overlooked is TT is not about convincing people to... what, have you broken it again?
No, I'm just trying to see whether I can zoom it in a bit.
Oh, right, okay. So it's very distracting.
Then don't do anything, then just leave it away.
Okay. And I think it's really for people who are coming to the hobby afresh. Clive Cobalt says hi, hi Jerry. I think that's supposed to be hi Jenny. The number 2 lift out bridge is
he
now
said
in
Jerry
my
last
new,
week as well.
new layer. Is R maybe next to N on the keyboard? I don't know.
No, I think he just doesn't know that you called Jenny.
Iron Horse Railways. What do you say now? Are you being a nuisance with yourself?
Why is that what you do normally?
It
you
just
don't
says
want
Richard
someone
Swiderski.
muscling in.
Richard Swiderski says Iron Horse Railways a bit early, mate. Is he on a couple of tinnies? But certainly, Iron Horse Railways. Early for what? He says.
Is there a way of swapping which lights on so that you're not constantly right in the middle of?
Yeah, I can. We can do that. Turn that one off.
Oh, good grief! Now.
Okay. Your only other option is that one.
Nope.
Nope.
You were best as it was.
Yeah, I could have told you that.
Well, so how was your exercise?
This is the thing. The illness has left me where I'm okay until I move. Wamgok says, I'm just about to enter the TT scale. I'm going to build a small exhibition layout, getting my rolling stock and locos from Hornby and track from Pico. Absolutely. I think that's probably the best way. Now, you're going to have track in the starter set. One of the first things that I've actually noticed is that the frogs on the points are all plastic. Now, it didn't seem to affect the A4. Good old William Whitelaw was not affected by that, but it remains to be seen whether something like the Gronks would have trouble.
With the shorter wheelbase, you mean?
Sarah Davis says, how about go full JJ Trek and turn all the lights on so we can't see anything? Who's JJ Trek?
No idea. You've got to remember, the thing is that YouTube is now so big that someone can have tens of millions of followers and other people would never have heard of them.
I must admit, actually, I was looking around and there's some railway channels getting quite big and it's like, I have never heard of these people.
Yeah.
So,
but this goes into what I was saying the other week when we were having a chat. You being big does not prevent someone else being big, because there are so many of us. We can watch what we want. Everyone can be successful. Everyone can rise up at the same time.
Well, don't they say there's something like there's 10 hours of video uploaded every minute or something?
Something like that. It's
So-
massive.
Awesome Brick says, sadly, I had to return my TTA4 as it kept derailing. I was very impressed by a Pico TT Bobo, which ran perfectly. Fat Wallet Boy 2 says, though, I'm in they think they should have gone 3mm camp. Now, I have to say, one of the other things, which I think hasn't been made a lot about, we did mention it in the video on Friday, is that by going for an all-new scale, rather than, I know some people say, well, why didn't they just reinvest in N-gauge? And actually...
N-gauge too small for what they want to do.
One of the things as well is that actually there's a lot of variation between standards, and one of the biggest things is obviously 00 versus HO. But then you've also, with a complete fudge on the actual track gauge. I think it's supposed to be something like 19 millimeters. If you modelled UK track in 00 correctly. But then, you've got a lot of other fudges that are kind of been handed down through the years, which is now too late to get rid of. The couplings are another thing. And what TT120 cunningly does is it takes a scale gauge that is completely and utterly set.
It's alright, I'm dealing with it.
And there's no fudge. It is to scale. There's no compromises. It's also exactly the same scale as what TT users on the continent use. So you can mix and match UK and continental rolling stock and locomotives with each other, and they're actually the same scale. So it's a bit like, why did British HO never catch on? Well, it was a big uphill struggle. It did exist. Lima tried to bring a few bits and pieces out. I think River Rossi did as well, but it never caught on. And yes, Russell Benton, TT120 is a complete reset. And it means that you're then in this situation where actually people around the world can buy it, have UK outline stock on their layout, and it be the same scale. I mean, N-Gauge has multiple standards.
Which really annoys me.
Yeah, I didn't realise this till comparatively recently, but N-Gauge in Japan is different scale to N-Gauge in the States, to N-Gauge in the UK, to N-Gauge in the continent. And it's like, what on earth is going on here? And yeah, Christopher Hobbs, it's an interesting point. I didn't know that, but I can believe it. It says, did you see that shops in Germany are now stocking it? And that's really one of the things I think that TT is also aimed at. It's a more global market. Natalie Gardner, big hello to you. Says, hi Jenny and Zoe, bad enough with the van train with clean roofs, but the top line loco with a white cab roof, 2-minute wonder in the best of circumstances, harumph, etc. with tongue in cheek. I think this is with reference to the, is it an E4, the Bachmann E4 in London, Brighton and South Coast Railway livery is number 579. Yeah, white cab roof, I don't think so.
What's wrong with unrealistic cleanliness standards?
Yeah. Sarah Davis says TARDIS, bottom right of screen in the scrolling text. Yes, it is. So well done. TARDIS spotted. So I think other people have probably spotted it, but I tend to miss the comments. Stefan Svensson says, what do you think of the Flying Scotsman in HO from Mechlin and Trix? I have to say, that was interesting, really, really interesting. It's definitely aimed more at a European market, possibly an American market too, but very expensive. Iron Horse Railways says, isn't N-Gauge like 142 and 160? Peter Jackson Cheadle Heath, oh, it's just gone off the top of the screen.
It's alright.
Stop. Where are we? There we are. Peter Jackson Cheadle Heath says, Japan 1 to 150, UK is 1 to 148, fairly close. US and Europe are 1 to 160. This
What?
is N-Gauge. Yeah, but what's interesting is that Leslie Goodman Railways points out Japanese N 1 to 150 is to allow 3-foot gauge stock to run on the 9mm track. Ah, right. Okay, yeah, that makes some sense. Big hello to Wardle Road. Big hello. How's the attempting to buy yourself some motive power going? I know that Wardle Road has been looking at some shunters. I love
Weren't
my
you trying
shunters.
to buy a share as well in something? You were wanting to buy, what was it, 100 grunks so you could wire them together to create the mega grunk?
The mega grunk. And interestingly enough, if Wardle Road has just turned up, that means
A Monday Club arrives precisely when he means to.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Gandalf.
Gandalf. He's literally phoning it in. He's downstairs. He's found that we've got an internal phone system. So I've got some TT here. This is the coaches from the Easterner set. I think, to be honest, the Cupboard Monkey is probably better off holding them up to a camera. I really like the A4, to be honest.
Here you go.
I'm a really big fan of A4s. So we've got, let's just see, where...
Let's leave them out so I don't have to keep getting these in and out.
Yeah,
The thing I like the most, though, is the re-railer that comes in it.
You can get them in double O as well.
Yes, you can. Now, we'll be getting you one because
Yeah,
you
it would
need
be helpful because my eyesight's getting a bit...
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to focus on with that. They really have thought about this. This is for people of all ages to try and get into model railways. This isn't trying to say to people who are already invested, look, where you need to completely buy new stuff. This is
absolutely.
newcomers of all ages. Someone who hasn't quite got the flexibility of their hands because they're too young to have developed fine motor skills,
Yeah.
or maybe is a bit too old to be able to see it very well.
But they're
It's a
also
railer.
lovely models, I have to say. The detail
Yes.
on them is very, very good.
I took a load of photos in our review and it looks amazing.
Yeah, George says, to be fair though, I was impressed with the level of detail they put
Yes.
on the TT models. Dongit's Model Railway says TT HST train set when? They are expanding the range. I'm actually looking forward at Ali Pali 2 weeks time, seeing what Hornby have on their stand. I'm kind of hoping that they might have a demonstration layout as well.
It's going to be interesting to see what they've got.
I know that they weren't at Doncaster. A lot of manufacturers weren't at Doncaster. But they were at Model Rail Scotland, although due to illness I wasn't. So I'm really interested to see what they've actually got on their stand. Christopher Hobbs says Hornby TT Club now exceeds 15,000 members. One can only assume they've joined to get the discount. If everyone bought a loco or a set, that's a lot of units in only a few months. The discount is scale specific, so if you join the TT Club, you can't then use it for 00 gauge models and vice versa. What?
No, it's alright.
One interesting thing, though, is that, of course, up until I think it was the end of January, it was free to join the club. So I think a better test of loyalty of those club members is where we stand when the free memberships run out. Will people be renewing? But the magazine, I thought, was really, really good.
Yes.
Because
the magazine is great.
because it shows you how to build a layout. Lots and lots of really great information.
So, the first thing we've got here is a message from Iron Horse Railways, who is willing to pop on the show and give his thoughts.
Oh, right, yes. The internet. I think there might be somebody on the internet with an opinion. Beverage of choice.
Hello there, you are live on air. Please don't swear.
Oh, hello. That was quick.
Hello. I'm going to say there is a massive delay with the live stream because Jenny's still waffling on about the TT stuff.
Oh yeah, she can waffle for like there's a
Oh, you've got the Doncaster cough as
Don't
well.
send it down the phone line to us. We've just got rid of
I'm
it.
afraid I was case 0, I think.
You're convinced that you were the super spreader. I don't think you were.
Oh, super spreader. What?
Oh, matron.
Oh, matron, take them away.
This is the problem when you and I get talking. We're like almost as bad as me and Richard Brighton.
It's same coin, different side, love. That's what it is, unfortunately.
But yeah, so apparently you've got an opinion on the TT.
I've got an opinion on everything, really. But I'd just like to say, with this issue with the track, I don't think it's necessarily a problem. What I think it is it's actually a stealth feature. I think Hornby have gone for the super elevation route, and that's what it is.
Yeah, but it's backwards. It leans outwards. Oh, hold
That
on.
doesn't matter.
Hold on. We've got something that's decided because
Yeah, Craig, while you're on,
Yes?
the TT with the track, I think I know what you mean. Not necessarily a stealth feature, but the way they've done it, it may just be the fact that they've had to rush to get this to markets after COVID, and perhaps as a result, the stuff hasn't been able to rest and stretch.
Yeah, I mean, I think they can forgive them that. It's only a bit of track. And I will say that Pico have always made really nice track anyway. I believe they have some on the market as it is, so...
Yeah, we've
most
actually...
people do
I will
tend
bring
to
it up in a
upgrade
moment.
the Pico, upgrade the track. I know that the track I got with all my starter sets gets put in the bin.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people...
Track,
A lot of people are expecting too much from starter set track. It's there to get you started, but in all honesty... Yeah, but in all honesty, pretty much everybody then moves on. There's pretty much no... I think the only starter set track that is lurking around here on Weir Yard is that... it's... Come on, can you...
siding or something?
I use it down in my fiddle yard. There's a curve in the fiddle yard, and it made sense to just use set track curves quite simply because it kept the geometry nice. Nobody was going to see it.
With a tight radius like that, it's out of the way. It does make sense just for ease of use, really, I suppose. And
Yeah. But everything else is Pico streamlined, and even when you talk to Americans, Pico is the watchword. That's what most people use. And
absolutely.
And when we were at a Rails Open Day, Pico actually gave me a load of their TT track, and it's lovely stuff. So, in all honesty, I'd recommend if people want to expand, then that is the way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's always been the case. Sorry, I'm talking over you. Sorry.
So we've got... I'm just having a look in the chat. People talking about the Lost Coaches. Harry Sedgwick spotted the Lost Coaches. And Warbler Productions says Craig is the modern Typhoid Mary.
Oh!
It's not wrong. He's not wrong.
And there's a few people spotted the other TARDIS as well.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So, it's no flies on you, people.
I have one question for you, Iron Horse. If you were in charge of Hornby with their TT range, which locomotive and which rolling stock would you think was essential for the next wave?
That's a good question.
I think the Titfield Thunderbolt.
That's an inspiring answer.
That's a bit close to the bone. Big hello to J94, and Vic Freak as well points out Pico is a British product, all made in the UK as well. So
absolutely.
one of the great success cases of the model rail industry. And Richard Knoll says, I've already bought a load of Pico TT Flexi Track. Raymond Legg says, hello fellow Eisenbahn lovers. And Tim's Model Railway in different videos does say, quite importantly, don't fart on the phone, Craig. We don't want...
I'm not that good.
We don't want you to give us the crack slam. Oh!
Just to briefly talk about model railways, just for a moment.
Oh, go on then, since we're on.
Yeah.
If we have to. One thing I'm really looking forward to seeing for the TT stuff is, yes, the starter sets are all very well, fine and good, but I'm looking forward to see the layouts people make. I want to see where the creativity comes into it. I want to see what people do. We've got the starter sets, but now what happens? And if I was in charge of Hornby, that's what I'd be looking next. The need to get the infrastructure in place. So people can't survive on just starter sets. They need substance. They need substance. They need content, if you will.
And there is more stuff coming through. I mean, for me, the Class 08, the Gronk is a standout item, but they're also doing like modern stuff. Class 66s, and Class 08 and Class 66. They're the model that keeps on giving in terms of liveries, numbers that are out there. They're probably the two most prolific classes of locos that there's ever been in the UK.
Absolutely.
So I think that those two...
Just in sheer numbers, Absolutely.
Yeah, so I think, to be honest, those have to be there at the start in any scale. And I don't think they're far off either. But they've got plans. They've published their plans for what they want to do. It's a shame in a way that Hellion pulled out, but they did find that Hornby were planning on going head to head with pretty much, I think, everything that they were planning to do. And
I think, yeah.
And there's a part of me wondering whether Hornby may have shot themselves in the foot by effectively terminating a competitor in the market that would have actually complemented their range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they actually...
And brought more people to it, absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
And in some respects, I mean, we don't know how far along they were. They may have turned around and said, well, actually, we're already making the tooling. We've invested a lot of money in these. It's too late for us to back down. But, by and large... there isn't enough market to go head to head with the same model. But let's see what happens, I guess. Francis Wadsworth says, okay, I've got to go now, guys. See you all next Monday.
Thank you
care.
for joining
Bye,
us.
Francis.
Paul Murphy tickled the like button. Excellent, thank you. And don't forget, everybody else, tickle the like button.
Not So Salty Sea Dog has hit the nail on the head. And it's something that Craig's also said.
They need Metcalf to get on board as well.
We need buildings. The starter kit is great.
Absolutely.
But if I can't roll a locomotive to a station, stop, pretend to pick up passengers, and move on, as a kid, I'm not getting the play value that I need to really get invested.
Yeah.
Or even a good yard or something like that.
Pico do the laser cut wood kits, and they are amazing.
They are wonderful.
But really, what we've seen in both N and 00 is that Metcalf really are
Metcalf are the kings
important.
of the
Kings
buildings.
of card.
Yeah.
Card
They are
kings.
brilliant. I've got a couple of Metcalf kits myself, and Metcalf actually do cater for the scratch builder as well, because they make the little builder sheets where you get like brick and thing, and it's the same quality card you get from one of their kits.
Yeah.
But for someone like me that wants to make their own buildings or augment the kit, it's fantastic for that as well.
Absolutely.
And if Metcalf got on board with it, I think it would really encourage people to jump on the TT wagon, as it were.
Yes.
Absolutely. A big thank you, by the way, just as an aside, Andrew McNeil has very generously donated 99p on
Thank
the
you.
super chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
And also a big welcome to Johan, who has joined the Jenny Kirk membership. Thank you so much. And yeah, Wamgok just point out Pico are doing buildings.
They are, and they're lovely. But Metcalf kits are cheap,
now,
easy to find, and fun to build.
Now, here's an interesting point. Leslie Gilpin Railways points out, don't Fowler and Knock, etc. do TT? So, yeah, you can get TT models on the continent. And, some of them look a bit sort of like twee gingerbread man sort of...
I love the Fowler and Knox stuff.
Oh, yeah, I mean, some of the magical, mystical, fairyland Bavarian buildings are superb in and
I
of...
love them.
in an
Fortress, that sort of thing.
Yeah, they're lovely things.
West Hill Wagon Works are into TT.
Oh, now that is interesting. So,
That is interesting.
so support is there,
It's appearing, yes.
and I think that
So we're
it's.
going to be looking at magnetic couplings, aren't we, them as well?
Oh,
Surely
that
they'll
would
be
be
putting their own
wonderful.
couplings forward.
Can I just point out though that the couplings that come with TT,
A crap.
are actually pretty good. They are actually far better than the usual.
Give me a try with these, because I hate the N-gauge ones.
Yeah, N-gauge is rubbish.
The little L things, yeah.
009 stuff is rubbish. And to be honest, 00 leaves a lot to be desired. But these out of the box have got some really
Actually,
quite nice
these
coupling.
are all right. These work quite
And
nice.
then you push the little tab underneath to uncouple them. Don't just rip them apart.
Yeah. I'm not even putting it
Hulk
together for you.
smash!
Yeah. Okay, I'll grant you that the TT couplings are better, but I still want to see some magnetic ones.
I've just actually shot myself. I've made myself miserable, and I've decided on my little end-to-end layout to go for 3-link couplings.
All right.
So, it's like expert mode. but the thing is, are you okay?
Yeah.
Zoe?
Oh, yeah. It's that Doncaster cough. You know it so well.
Yeah. Don't cast the cough.
There's a lot of people actually suggesting brands that do kits. So Raymond Legg says Fowler, Tillig, Pico. and Rocco. Although
Yes, but
interesting,
we need
Clint.
British outline. We need British outline.
Clint.
Yes.
Clint Brownfield says, I emailed Metcalf about doing TT120, and they said they have no plans on doing anything at present.
To be honest with you, I can understand that because their stuff, I can see it taking time to move through the same way everyone else, and they want to make sure that it's going to be around long enough for them to actually get
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
it
it's
is
still
in
early
this-
doors, isn't it? It's still early doors.
Yeah.
Although, admittedly, I guess that there's. I wonder how easy it would be to upscale, say, their N-gauge kits to TT.
I would say it's more likely that you would downscale. Lose detail by downscaling rather than having to add detail by upscaling.
All I'm thinking is the
Yeah, you've gotta
instructions
be
get
careful with
too
card
small
kits,
to
yeah.
read if you go down. Larry Rogers says, up to this point, none of the shops I frequent here in the States are offering any TT120 stuff. And I think TT is more a product of, certainly in Europe, it's been a big deal. Principally, I think Eastern Europe were very big on TT. So it's got a good following across Europe. I very much think, though, it's probably much more the third scale after 00 and N-gauge. So it's well established, though, in Europe. But in the US, I'll be honest, N-gauge barely gets a look in as well. And HO and O-gauge seem to be the ones that... I'm trying not to say the big scales, but you know what I mean. They're the ones that are
Yeah,
quite
the heavy
popular.
hitters. Well, you have got a lot more space in the States. You can buy 50,000 acre land for about 30 pence over there, can't you? So they've got a lot more
I don't think
space
it's quite that cost effective, but yeah.
Well, outside of Detroit, maybe not, but you know.
But no, certainly real estate homes in the US do tend to be a lot bigger. AH says they need figures in TT and signals. Have to see if it catches
I'm
on
going to go and grab
before
the Pico set
producing
that they
too
produced.
many accessories. Leslie Gilpin Railway says, remember, some manufacturers in North America are offering N locos, etc., with as much detail as HO. And that's
Yes,
an
they
interesting
are.
point. TT120 has come right at the point where N gauge is, I mean, the detail that we're getting in N gauge. The Rapido Class 28s that we got sent for review are incredible. The detail on them is amazing, you know, and they've got working directional lights, switchable tail lights, all-wheel drive, lots of separately fitted handrails and stuff.
So I would presume then that the TT stuff will follow suit then, surely.
The what, sorry?
The TT stuff would surely follow suit then with that. They would have lights and things as a minimum, surely.
I mean, the all we've got here to go on is the Easterner set. So we've got the A4 and the coaches. Now, there's no lighting functions in any of those. I did wonder whether the A4 might have like a flickering firebox, because that's become very much a standard thing in 00. But you've got to remember, excuse me.
It is a start set though, isn't it? It is a
It
start
is the
set.
start.
It is, yes. But also, I think TT is a lot smaller than 00. It's bigger than N-gauge, but not by as much as you'd think. But in terms of volumetric differences, it's substantially smaller than 00. Now, the Cupboard Monkey's getting out a big pile of stuff. Is this what Pico gave me at the
This
Rails
is what
Open
Pico
Day?
sent over.
So we actually got a good care package from Pico. So a big thank you to Pico. And we've got things like, it's quite a comprehensive set. So we've got,
I'm going to have to wait for the show on camera, aren't I?
platform brick. These are like sheets of building materials. I haven't actually, I feel quite bad actually, because
You haven't had that much of a look at it for a while. You have had a look at it though. That's why they're open.
So we've actually got,
Oh,
Some of
it's
these
just
are
coming on
plastic.
screen for me now. It's just coming on screen now. Let me see.
so we've got like textured brick plasticard sheets for building. You like cut out your own structures.
Yeah.
And there's 5.
5 in a box, which is pretty good.
2, 3, 4. And how many does it say you get?
Doesn't.
It doesn't. So actually,
I also like the packaging. Pico's packaging is clearly recycled card, and it's lovely.
So these are. It's not really showing up on the cameras very well.
I will hold it to the other one.
So we're just going to move cameras round.
You're as broken as the cameras.
Absolutely. So my lovely assistant is going to show these off. And we got some point work here as well. And as the Cupboard Monkey was saying, they've done away with the plastic in the packaging. It's all card and stuff. And here we are. I mean, the points, like, if you want decent track work, then you could do no worse than to go down the line of the Pico stuff. So you want to hold that up as well.
Oh, this is high quality. I can
Real
feel
work of art. So that's the TT point from Pico. And the Aylesmead project says Will's Pico brick sheets are great. Ben Tullett says I am awaiting
They are nice.
GWR TT stuff, and I may consider. Spoke to Simon Kohler at the Great British Model Railway Show, and he did say there is a plan to create a decent GWR section of models. At the Great British, was he at Doncaster? He never came and said hello.
He was hiding
Looks
from you
like
because
it's
you're
got the
weird.
same sort of radius as the streamline stuff that Pico make. Is that a streamline one, is it?
It is,
It looks
yeah.
like it's got
Yes.
but it looks like that's really nice, is that? Those are the ones that give you the least amount of trouble when it comes to shunting and things. They're a lot more
Absolutely.
forgiving.
And Jerry BVR says, Jenny, on the Hornby show, the TT Mallard had sound fitted. And yeah, what you got to remember is that the one of the other things that this does is all of the stuff is DCC ready from the outset. So the A4 actually has a Next 18 decoder socket. And
There are
that's
5 in the box.
Oh.
There's one stuck in the card.
so yeah, so I was right. I thought for some reason I had it in my head that it was 5 in a box.
Yeah.
So yeah, you do get 5. But yeah, a Next 18 sound decoder is all you need, and really easy to sound fit. Excuse me.
You're excused.
But Next 18 actually, it's becoming quite a popular decoder form factor. From relative obscurity a few years ago, it now seems to be one of the most common decoder standards. And one of its major benefits is that you can get a sound decoder in quite a small space.
Yes, and that I think is why it's so popular. It works, and it's small, and it's good.
But it's perfect for smaller locomotives. So we've seen it on the rise in N gauge, and I guess that means that TT as well. Well worth it. So what do you? Oh, they're sleepers.
The Bluetooth decoders are going to come with the Next 18 adapters, or are they just 8-bit at the moment?
The what? Sorry.
The Bluetooth decoders from is it Soundtracks or Econar Blue Army? From Hornby.
The Soundtracks Blue Army. From what I remember, they've got a 21-pin interface and then a wired interface that you would just solder to your own breakout board.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
So I soldered them to an 8-pin breakout board, but you can solder them to a Next 18 one quite easily. But interestingly enough, the Hornby Bluetooth decoders, when they do finally appear, the sound ones are coming 8-pin, Next 18 and 21-pin. All of those will have sound variants, and then they will also do a 6-pin non-sound Bluetooth decoder as well.
That sounds interesting.
And there'll be non-sound versions of 8-pin, Next 18 and 21-pin as well. Clive Cobalt says, guys, I have to go now. See you all next week. Goodbye from Clive in
Thank
Northern
you for
Ireland.
coming along and
You take care. Don't forget to tickle the like and share the video.
Now this is what you were wanting the other day when we were doing the review.
Oh, the platform edges.
Yeah.
So we've got platform edges as well from Pico. Big box of the actual uprights, and then they've also sent a box of the ramp sections as well.
Yeah.
So
I saw them the other day as well.
is that the signal box you built?
Yeah, those big ones are the ones I built.
See, you've built those. So the Cupboard Monkey's actually having great fun.
I've built all this stuff. There's going to be a full review of all of this when we do the Monkey Build in a couple of weeks' time.
AH says the Pico TT points need metal check rails instead of the plastic ones. Oh, are they plastic or metal? Oh yeah, they are.
Pass it over.
They are plastic. I think the problem is that moulding these, putting the parts in, metal check rails would increase the cost. Yeah, it's just plastic at the moment. Metal check rails would increase the cost. So, you know, there's always a bit of a cost benefit going on. But the Bullhead track in Double has metal check rails, and they do look fantastic.
Yeah. I think it's going to be a very interesting time.
The Bullhead rail from DCC Concepts is really nice track. It is really, really nice track.
Right, so...
And Phil Risbridger says, be nice if TT starter sets came with the power pack. Now this is something else actually that they're doing, is a plug-in power pack for, which is basically a stay alive for the decoders, which will plug into any of the decoders to give you a stay alive. And I think this is the, I may be wrong, but I think this is the first time we've had a solder-free plug-in stay alive for sound decoders.
John Gitz has
I think for sound decoders, yes. I know DCC Concepts make one, but it's not sound.
Right.
David Scott says, talking of things coming to market, will the Monday Club PAL brick arrive for Easter? What date is Easter this year?
I don't know, but it's due in the next week or two.
We are expecting them in the next week or two. That's what the update we got on Friday.
Yep.
Is that they are about a week away from docking in the UK. Now,
we are as frustrated as some of you guys because basically COVID slowed everything down. We would have loved this to have been here in time for Christmas, but here we are.
Now,
But we've
before
got
it
an
goes
intro.
off
Worth
the
the wait,
screen,
though.
Don Gets Model Railway says, if Hornby want TT to take off properly, they need the sets to be stocked consistently in shops like Smith's, Argos and on Amazon.
I
Now,
have to agree.
I would say, actually,
Yeah.
it's an interesting point. They said from the outset that this is going to be a direct-only thing. So I am curious how they're turning up on Amazon and that. We've recently seen relationships with retailers, model shops, thawing somewhat. And I think the biggest giveaway of this is that Hatton's are having a bit of a renaissance.
Yeah.
They're now able to pre-order all of the 00 stuff. So I do wonder whether this is a prelude to TT maybe being distributed to the wider market.
That would be nice.
Ben Tullett asks, no flock of clowns tonight? And there's a straggler with a trombone. So we just had our...
Jen, can I just point out that for our call-in, the phone is right next to the speaker on that.
Oh, I'm
sound
sorry, Craig. Was that loud?
It's like a nightmare.
Oh, hold on. There's a couple more. There you go. There's always stragglers. It's the big floppy clown shoes that do it. So,
No,
James Petts has apparently turned up.
Yes, but he says he's been watching on mobile since the start.
I can see.
He's trying to get around a Gandalf. Gandalf, what do you say to that?
What does Gandalf say?
It's not against the rules, but I must still say a Monday clubber is never late, Frodo Baggins, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to. I'm very tired tonight.
Oh, right.
Nom, 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 nom.
Oh, okay. Well, there we are. We'll give you a clown horn for that.
Ooh, my alarm. Time for more cake.
B2000 RO Toys channel says, hi Jenny and Zoe, since last time my 009 layout has been improving quite a bit. I've painted the side of the rails and sleepers brown with acrylics and added fine ballast. I'm to improve my other sets. And actually that's one of the things that, you know, ballasting really does make a big difference.
Ballasting, all of a sudden
layouts.
things just look interesting.
And painting the
real.
sides of the rails too. I think a lot of people shy away from that, but it's not a difficult thing. And I actually found using a brown permanent marker is quite an easy way of colouring the sides of the rails. There are lots of little ruses you can use.
Yes, Iron Horse, you know all about the weathering and stuff, don't you? Because you're basically the king of weathering at the moment, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, the king, I don't know about that. I mean, I'm all right, I guess. But why? What's in your mind?
Didn't you sell out DCC Concepts at a show just by turning up and using their stuff?
The weathering powders. You cleaned them out.
Yes, that did happen. Yeah, it did happen. Yes, I happened to sell more than anyone combined at the show, but that's because I was demonstrating it being used. People will buy something if they can see it being used and used as well.
See, I think they should get you on their stand. That would be quite a big draw, I think, having somebody doing weathering.
Yeah. So, guys, all of you in the industry, you know where to call.
Yeah. And also, actually, one of the other things I think that DCC Concepts would benefit from is having decoder fitting on their stand to show people just how easy it is. And maybe doing a thing whereby if somebody rocks up with a DCC Concepts branded decoder, they will fit it for free. Big hello to New Junction. Great to see you and I hope you are well.
A Monday clubber is never late, Toto Wagons, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Right.
Thanks, Gandalf.
I'm going to go get a coffee.
Mr. New Junction.
No, I'm good, thanks. But you can get me a
Junction.
It's like, that's Mr. New Junction to you.
How's life on your scale, Richard?
Yeah, I think you've landed a great job there. So he's got the job we all want.
Well, playing with trains for a living.
Yeah.
Isn't that your job, Jen?
Well, see, the thing is, nobody ever headhunts me, and headhunt makes it sound like there's somebody creeping through your garden with a big axe, a net and an axe. But no, nobody ever really comes to me and goes, "Are you looking for a job?"
Jenny is available for weddings, divorces, bar mitzvahs, and any other gathering.
Yeah, any other gathering that has a buffet.
Bar mitzvahs.
Yeah. Joshua W56 says, "Good evening, everyone. That suggests you're running late." I said running late. Gandalf, come on.
A Monday clubber is never late, Toto Wagons, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Thanks, Gandalf. Nigel Cole says, "I received my Sonic A5 in LNER livery. Very pleased with it." And actually, I mean, I'm quite blown away how popular that video was as well. Nearly 9,000 views in under a week. The Sonic A5, it's the first 00 gauge model from Sonic. They've done previously an N gauge J50, but oh, something's beeping. I think. Right. Somebody is trying to do a video call. I'm not sure what's going on there. Right. So, oops. I just pressed the button. I didn't. Are you still there?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah. So we can't do video call. Sorry?
It's me. I pressed the wrong button.
Oh, is it? All right.
Sorry.
Ben Whitehouse says DCC Concepts would benefit from some stock. I've been waiting months for some stuff on back order, and this is down to the processor shortage. And I have to say, people, if you want decoders, now is a good time to stock up because it's going to get worse before it gets better. And I happen to know that a number of different decoder lines from different manufacturers are now in short supply. So if you're planning on buying, say you've got something on order for later this year, it might be worth buying the decoder now and getting it into stock because they might not be available when the model comes.
Yeah, there is going to be a problem with that.
And I think next 18 the next ones to probably run out because there's been a huge increase in demand. You know, we've got there's the Sonic A5s. I did a full DCC fit, and if anybody's wondering, by the way, The Sonic A5 is trundling around quite happily. I fitted both of mine with Stay Alives, and it has dramatically improved their performance. It's just a shame that they only pick up from the driving wheels. And they're a little bit jittery, it must be said, when they were running first out of the box. But the Stay Alive has fixed it. Now, I used the Zen Blue Plus Next 18 decoders, so I could use the plug-in Stay Alives. But what I would say about that is the biggest Stay Alive you can fit is the medium. Don't be tempted to go for the really big ones because they just won't fit. And you do have to take the speaker out. And basically you need the space that the speaker is taking up to fit the Stay Alive. And it did strike me at the time that if you go for the sound fitted option, they might be a little bit troublesome. So I'm just looking at Sean Taylor says, I'm looking forward to HM7000, new to model railways and gone with TT120. And this is exactly what we were saying before. TT120 is very much for the newcomer.
That's who it's aimed at, absolutely.
Yeah, so if you're starting from scratch, TT120 is perfect. Now, James Patz, quite predictably, does approve of Stay Alives.
I approve of Stay Alive. I think they're a fantastic innovation for DCC.
Absolutely, they do transform. So, I mean, well, looking on this layout, that Class 05, people may have seen it chugging around incredibly slowly. That is fitted with a DCC Concepts medium Stay Alive, and it transforms it to being a bulletproof, reliable performer. James Patz is asking me, am I planning at being at Alexandra Palace? Now, I can exclusively reveal that yes, I am going to be at Alexandra Palace. I've been invited. So I will be there, embedded with a manufacturer who's very kindly paid for my hotel room.
Embedded.
Yeah, basically it's like they paid for the hotel room, so I very much must spend some time at their stand. But I'm not there with a layout. But
Can we reveal who's invited you or not?
Sorry?
Can we reveal who's invited you or not?
Yeah, KR Models. They couldn't get train tickets for Mike, so I suggested a car share and it got me a hotel room.
Hey.
Yeah. But no. Good lads there at KR Models. And hopefully, I am really hoping that the Monday Club wagons will be out there by then. I know we've said this before. We hoped they'd be out for Christmas, then they weren't, and then we hoped they'd be out at the beginning of January, then they weren't. So we've had a few false starts. Three. Oh my word! But we are told they're basically due to dock in the UK. Be this week. Charlie Chimp says, "Is it Daypol?" No, it's not Daypol.
It's the Upper Depot.
But I have actually spoken to Daypol. I will be going to see them. They will be there. It's always good checking on the Daypol stand because they have some great deals on stuff, as well as being able to see pre-production models. And I don't know whether anybody saw in the news the working ground signals in O-gauge. Forthcoming from Daypol, and they look amazing. And these are things.
Same as the double O ones, they're really nice. If they're based on those ones, they're really nice.
Well, no, they don't do double O ground signals. Ground signals are something that we've only ever had the light up ones, the color light ones from DCC Concepts. Because the old-fashioned ones with the rotating disc are just too fiddly to make. But
dolly discs.
Yeah, but they're bringing them out, just ready to plant,
Right, okay.
servo operated in O-gauge. And I did ask them if it was practical to do them in double O, but didn't really get a reply. Our Neil at Daypol is always massively overworked, so he's one guy who, to be honest, he needs to take a break because he's always rushing around, rush. It's like Richard Brighton, but more more overworked.
Is that possible?
Richard Brighton's like a scurrying little chipmunk at times, just dashing around from tree to tree.
Yeah,
Trying to
I'm
get
surprised
everything
he's
sorted.
not in, actually. I thought he might give us a call, because I know he wanted to chat about something. But
Maybe he doesn't want to chat about something on the record.
I've been on the phone for about 40 minutes. Does somebody else want to try?
oh yeah, does somebody?
I've had a look while you were on the chat, don't worry. No one else has messaged in saying they want to come on.
But
And I shall
so
say.
how would people express an interest to be on?
Right, the way to do it is to send a message to me. You go to facebook.com/Zoe Robinson UK, and that's my official Facebook page. On there is a WhatsApp link. Press the link and it will let you send me a message. That lets me know that you want to be on the show.
And then we will connect with you through WhatsApp.
Yeah, and that way it doesn't cost you anything to call in. We will be getting a phone number.
Sorry, go on.
We will be getting a phone number direct so you can just call in. But that hasn't happened yet
No,
because I've been ill.
it's on the to-do list, along with hoovering the
Is there no way to
carpets.
share the link in the chat that links directly to the WhatsApp link, or does it not work like that?
I have done that as well, and people still haven't. Sometimes people don't want to use
Okay.
WhatsApp or Facebook. I can't blame them, but at the same time,
Yeah.
until I get the phone number, that's what we've got to do.
Vic Freak says, Jen, can you please ask Mike at KR Models about the Mansell Z class that we pestered him about at Worley? I've plenty more info to send him if he needs more. I will mention, I know that if you send them an email, it does get through to him about wish listing. It's like normally we say wish listing is bad. But KR Models work on the basis if enough people ask for the same thing, there's probably a demand for it. But I do know what they're planning for their next few releases. And so I do know that they are off the back of people asking for things. I mean, Big Bertha was one that a lot of people asked for her, so they decided they would make her. So definitely,
That's the Licky Banker, isn't it?
yeah, that's
Big
the
Bertha.
that's the 010 banking loco,
Big job.
yeah, which was a shame it never got preserved. I would have thought that would have been a perfect contender to be in the National Railway Museum.
It really is astonishing when you look back on all these things that have just been lost to the ages, how many locos didn't actually get preserved.
Yeah,
I
and
think
when
it
you
wasn't
think,
probably until like the 50s when they really thought about it, was it really?
and then you look at some of the ones that did get preserved, and you think, well, surely there was more worthy candidates than that. You know, not complaining that that particular loco got preserved, but you know, arguably you could say, why did the National Railway Museum want Box Hill, the terrier, when there was already a lot of preserved terriers already been bought up and saved at places like the Bluebell Railway? And at the same time, things like the Mansell Z class. I know one of those, they tried to, the Bluebell tried to preserve one. It never got off the ground because of money. Same thing for Beachy Head. The
Where the hell is Planet?
is what?
Planet.
Planet?
We had
Planet
Rocket.
Funkatron.
We've had Lion. Where's Planet?
It'll come.
It hasn't
But
yet.
right.
Craig, thank you so much for joining us, but we're going to jump onto the videos now because we've got a large backlog. So I'd love to say
that's absolutely
thank
fine.
you so much for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you in person on the show sometime.
Absolutely.
It won't be long. I'll just wait to stop bringing my lungs up and then we'll be able
Yeah. Maybe we'll get you on next week or something. But
Well, from April I actually have Mondays off, so it'll be a lot easier to do that. and
Oh,
correlate
grand.
that, so-
That would be great. Thank you so much for joining us, though.
yep,
All right,
thank
I'll
you.
speak to you
Always
soon.
a pleasure.
Take care. Have a great
Bye-bye.
night.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. TTFN.
Tony Wright asks Jenny, is there any news on when the Acura Scale Class 37s are going to arrive? I believe New Junction is in. He is probably the best person to ask. And funnily enough, David Scott says, I thought you were talking about a Class 50. This is to do with something else. It's just reminded me, actually, the Class 50 that Acura Scale announced. I don't know. I've not seen anybody talking about this, but I just want to float this out there that Rails of Sheffield have commissioned Revenge. I forget its actual number, but they've commissioned a Class 50 from Acura Scales, an exclusive model called Revenge. Now, I can't be the only one to have picked up on the fact that the Class 50 was one of Hornby's flagship models that Acura Scale has picked off. And by Rails doing a commission of Revenge, that is a big statement from them about...
It's certainly saying something. I'm not sure what.
Yes.
So,
Jamie Smith asks Jennifer, what is today's beverage of choice? It was actually just cheap-ass juice, but your cordial with water, blackcurrant flavour.
mine, however, is cappuccino, darling.
Oh,
because
cappuccino.
I enjoy a cappuccino. However, Jen, we have here from Peter Jackson a short video.
So this is a short 20-second clip from one of my videos taken at the Doncaster show recently. It shows an N-gauge scratch-built model of an early LMS or War Department Gronk. Not sure what chassis it's on, but it uses a jack shaft drive between the 060 Wheeler engine. Oh, that would be the Armstrong Whitworth one. It was on the layout called A Nice Layout by Gary Atkinson. Gronk it up, gronk it up, gronk it up. Not a cult. So thanks for that.
So here we go.
Are we on the videos already?
Yes, it's 8 o'clock. If you could do the honours, my dear.
Okay, so we're going to
Go for it.
press play. So this is actually, I think it's the Armstrong Whitworth Class 08, but that in N-gauge
That
is...
looks so good.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the weathering on... I love the I need to get more carriage kits.
So thank you so much for sharing that, Rope. Just check
That
that
is
the
lovely.
camera's come back up. Important.
I am trying to press the buttons here as well, you know. You're a little monkey at times, my
have
dear.
Yep, we're working.
You're a monkey.
Oh, Ben Cooper says, hey, sorry I'm late.
A Monday clubber is never late, Frodo Baggins, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Thanks, Gandalf. Right, AH says they should have preserved a Class 22. Funny story, actually. Somebody did try to. What happened was, this was quite quite an embarrassment for British Rail. One of the last Class 22 to be withdrawn was bought and paid for by a preservation group. And in between them paying for it and turning up to pick it up, somebody decided to cut it up at the works. So it got scrapped, even though BR didn't own it.
That's really bad.
So as a result of this, and in recognising that they had cocked up royally, British Rail gave the group a Class 42 instead, with a whole load of spare parts, and bearing in mind that what the group would have paid if they'd have bought a Class 42 would have been substantially more, because they sold them by scrap value, which is, you know, if it weighs like 40 tons more, that's 40 tons scrap value more. So it's actually the story of how, I think, is it Onslaught or Greyhound, one or the other, got preserved simply because the Class 22 that the group wanted to preserve and had paid for got cut up.
Which is all right if you're willing to take that, but if you really wanted that particular logo and it's gone, that's a bit awful.
Yeah, Worthington Model Railway says, I'm not late, arrived exactly when I planned to, and can't stay long either.
A Monday clubber is never late, Toto Wagons.
Gandalf
nor
agrees.
is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
That is
Thanks,
good, cappuccino.
Gandalf.
Thanks, Gandalf. So, we've got a message from Chip Rockwell who says, don't know if you're aware of the DDA 40X, but with your liking of big, powerful engines...
I think it's one of the biggest single prime mover diesels ever built, with Dodo bogies. I think it's the only locomotive that has Dodo bogies.
Well, he sent us a link to the Wikipedia page,
Union
which has
Pacific.
a lot of information.
Yeah, Union Pacific. I one of my favourite liveries, actually, of US railroads is the Union Pacific grey, yellow and red It's very iconic livery.
I'm glad you didn't mention that you really, really like Norfolk Southern at the moment.
Why?
'Cause, oh my goodness, the mess they made.
Oh yeah, it happened.
One of their trains fell over and leaked stuff, so they set it on fire.
Interesting. Dongit's Model Railway says the DDA-40X is 2 GP40s on the same frame. So it's basically like a double locomotive. Stop, look and listen says hi all. I think that means they're late.
A
Hello.
Monday clubber is never late, Toto Wagon. A Monday clubber is never late, Toto Wagon. When he nor is he early.
Gandalf's his brother, Gandalf.
I think we've got some kind of a phase shift going on there. So the Railway Channel says good evening everyone. Good evening to you. Cameron Patterson says good night to all from Glasgow. Work tomorrow. Good night to you, Mr. Flymo and Mr. Hamshack for Glasgow.
Take care and have a great night.
Absolutely. Take care. Ooh. Pressed the wrong button.
Hey, what do you like?
Angel of Crew, big hello to you. Joshua W56. Somebody was saying actually, somebody is making, there is a new Class 22 build. And it's an interesting point. We've reached a point where new build diesel locomotives are actually happening.
So what we got up next is from Clive Cobold, who says, hi, here are some photos of my new layout. I've been working on it for 9 weeks.
Ooh.
So if you were to bring up the button,
Okay, so
here we are. I believe he's actually taking photos of a YouTube short in order to get these, which is an interesting way of doing it. So we've got Intercity, which is your favourite.
I do, yeah, but the full yellow wraparound ends, a very distinctive look. More, there's Class 86s and 87s ran with that livery. Always looks a bit unusual on a 47.
What else we got? Ooh,
So we're just going to make this big.
there we
The
are.
woodwork's always the most important part.
Yeah, you've
of
got to get
any
that bit
layout
right.
build. Some great woodworking going on. It'd be interesting to see this when all the scenery is in place.
Yeah, there's a lot here. Oh, there's that
Oh.
sea link again.
What do you mean again? What have we seen?
We've
this
seen
before?
some ships before on the show, and they are huge compared to the locomotives.
Yeah,
They seriously dominate.
James Pett's not doubting that it ran in that livery, but it's one which I'm more familiar with, the Class 86s and 87s. Joshua W56 says, what locomotive should they revive next? I'm thinking the Southern Railway Z-Class and maybe a blue Pullman power car. Well, the Z-Class is certainly a worthy one, but it's a case of who's going to dig in their pocket to pay for it. But I really like the LNER C9 Atlantics, and if you look them up, they're a very peculiar beast. They're actually, you could argue they're a 4444, although for ease of categorising, because the LNER didn't want to give them a new letter, which a 4444 duplex style locomotive would have required, they categorised them as an Atlantic, a 442, with a 6-wheel tender sharing one of the wheels of the intermediate power bogie.
Very intricate track
Ian
here.
Turvey says, send in the clowns. Are we getting a tumble of clowns back through?
What do you like? There's a lot of track here. This is going to be very interesting.
That's quite a lot of clowns there, and one straggler.
Always a straggler.
Ben
is interesting
Cooper
the way
says,
he's
would
got
love
this.
to see the London and North Western Railway Cornwall appear in 00.
Jen, can you explain what this is? Is that
It's a
set of
lift out.
boats?
It's a lift out section.
Right.
So, the track has been reinforced so it doesn't get damaged, and it stays exactly where it should do. And then we've got what look to be they're like bolts or something to hold it down, and then I'm guessing it just sort of hinges up.
That's a really good idea.
And yeah, Brighton K-class Mogul. I think that definitely would be
Nice bit of
an
space he's got
interesting
as well.
locomotive.
We have seen this layout.
Ah, so it's got quite a big fiddle yard underneath.
Yeah, We have seen the
Ah.
layout. And I love the way he's done the clouds on the background, on the back scene.
That is actually very
It's a
effective.
very effective use
Ah.
of space.
Call me Snake. It says ferries and trains together remind me of Heroes of Telemark.
Don't know what that is.
I think actually a big
This is
train
great.
ferry is always something that would be quite a good feature.
I love that he can move the ferries as well. They're not fixed down.
Right.
This is a really nice use of space.
Yeah.
Ah, and here's the...
I think this is actually, if anybody's interested in how to go about lift out sections, get the track to match up. You use PCB style sleepers, and actually it's used 4 close together at either side of the baseboard joint. One thing I would say with the soldering is try using some no clean flux. It will help your soldering a lot. You all right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm just going to. Unfortunately, the cupboard monkey has come down feeling a little bit sick. So I'm just going to. Let me just try and. Oh, there we are. The camera has behaved itself. So unfortunately, cupboard monkey has. Not so well, I don't think. Charlie Chip, Heroes of Telemark, great classic film. Is that the one with the heavy water? Yes, I do remember that film. Jerry BVR. Heroes of Telemark, World War II movie, and Norwegian resistance blowing up a train ferry, which was carrying a supply of heavy water, part of the Nazi plan to make a nuclear bomb, I think. Warbler Production says, I really want an industrial Garrett, the 040 plus 040 wheel arrangement, especially William Francis from the Baddesley Colliery branch near Atherstone, which still survives. I think, I was thinking about this the other day, and we're now reaching a point where the major classes of locomotives, a lot of them have been done, and it has to be said that I think that we're going to see some of the more interesting stuff get made in model form. I think a Z-Class 080 shunter can't be that far away. But, I've been putting forward ideas for, I think that the LNER T1 and A5. Now, these are, I think it's not A5, the A7. The A7 and T1 outwardly look reasonably similar. They were basically the same designer locomotive, one built as a 462 and the other one built as a 480, and essentially you could, with careful use of tooling, get 2 for the price of 1. A bit like how Hornby actually a number of years ago managed to make the 42XX, 52XX and 72XX models all would appear from the same tooling suite. Valley's 56XX says a 210 austerity would be nice. And 156 Andrew says, get well soon, Zoe. Simon Trains Mother Row Showcase says, sorry to hear you feeling unwell, Zoe. Get well soon. And Peter Jackson Cheadle Heath says, how about a crane tank loco? LOL. Yes, I've been flying the flag for, I think it's a J77 and a J92 for quite some time. Whether or not they will get made, I think, personally, that the J92 is an open goal. Very long-lasting, Great Eastern Railway tank locomotive, lasted right through to BR days, and that's probably the key. Unfortunately, the J77s were withdrawn in the 1920s, 1930s, so didn't make it to BR use, although they did pass, I think at least one of them passed into colliery use. Simon Trains Mother Row Showcase. It's funny how I snuck in late.
A Monday clubber is never late, Toto Wagons, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Thanks, Gandalf. Jamie Smith says, can I see the TARDIS in the flat wagon in the middle? No, that's actually a Fordson Tractor. I don't know where the cupboard monkey has put the TARDISes. I think there's one over here actually that hasn't moved. So I'll do the doctor's job for them. Chehalis Valley Rail Production says there's a group here in the US that's trying to build a Pennsylvania Railroad T1 class, which is a 4444. Simon Train's Mother Railway Showcase says thanks, Gandalf. Peter Jackson Cheadle Heath says all some early L&Y tank locos. The other one actually, the DX Goods is the most numerous steam locomotive ever mass produced. Plus there were a number that worked in Belgium. I believe some get exported overseas during the First World War with the Rail Operations Division. Could be wrong on that, but certainly ran with the London and North Western Railway, the Lancashire and Yorkshire Railway, and the LNS. Very long lasting, although only the tank conversions lasted into BR ownership just. Andy T741 says TARDIS just to your right. Oh, did it? Oh, I went and plonked it down on screen. Ooh. So there we go. Right, let's have a look now. Can we get another view? Let me just. Let me just. Deactivate. Activate. Come on now. Yes. There you go. Oh.
That was an experience.
Leslie Gilpin Railway says, looking forward to seeing the Penn T1. There's some really, really good Pennsylvania Railroad locomotives. I really like the GG1. I have got a model of one up there. Simon Train's Mother Railway Showcase has been to Yorkshire today, just sitting at Manchester Piccadilly at the moment. The People's Republic of Yorkshire. I was there the other day, actually. David Dorrell says that A4 looks a bit small. The one that's over here is actually the TT one. I just put it somewhere for reasons. So that is the TT A4. No, I don't have one of the other ones about that. Keeps sticking. I don't know what's going on there. 156 Andrew asks, is there a bug going about? There's quite a few actually.
Sorry about that, guys. I had to just run off.
So don't forget to tickle the like button, share the video as well to social media, and subscribe to the channel if you've not already done so. So the Cupboard Monkey is now fiddling with the cameras.
Yes, no, that is my job, you know.
Yeah. So what have we got there? The mountain cam. Woohoo!
Yes. Oh, I see why you can't see where the TARDIS is.
Well, actually, you could move me up there, because, like, why do we need all this up here? Go on, move me up. There we go. That's perfect. Do it. Right.
Right, perfect.
We have been wondering why the it hadn't been spotted.
Oh.
But there we go. So,
right, you know when I said earlier on that I didn't think I could finish my lunch?
Yeah.
Well, now I know why.
So, what, you've got a stomach bug?
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Yeah, Warbler Production says norovirus is particularly virulent this year. Anyway, you keep that to yourself.
Better not get that, because I've got bruised ribs.
Oh, yeah. I've got to go on a 2-day trip to Newton Abbot tomorrow. In fact, funnily enough, I saw Underground Eric posted that he'd been to Trago Mills at Newton Abbot, and it's the home of the... Remember the Blue Peter Railway from the late 1980s? I do remember it. Apparently that's where it now lives. And
Trago Mills sounds like a bad guy from Nightmare.
yes, Trago Mills.
Guardian of the third level.
Yes, but funnily enough, that's where I'm going tomorrow. So I'm going to try and actually get some footage of that. So if you're about Newton Abbot at Trago Mills, look out for me. I may be there tomorrow.
Jenny, could you have a quick read of what we got here from Nick Bradshaw?
Yes, I can. It says, hi Jenny and Zoe. Here is my Inglenook shunting puzzle. Friday Bridge It is no scenery yet, but it's just a bare built-up board before heading to the BRM show and being inspired to finally get to work. The railway is able to be powered by either DC or DCC with just a quick swap of the plugs on the front, and the point frogs are controlled via the Caboose Industries point throws. I shall update when the scenery develops, but for now I'm happy to be able to show off the layout so far, and thanks to Jenny for inspiring me to just get on and start building. Oh, you're
That is the
absolutely
best way.
welcome.
So if we bring this up, Jenny, what are those?
So we've got, that looks like a, I want to say a Plymouth Switcher on the right. And that looks like a GP40 on the left with a Class 07 in the middle. But the only one I know for certain is the Class 07 in the centre.
I like the way he's got the bridge name on the side and all the plugs.
Yeah.
That makes it really easy to
Is that
set
one
up.
of those scale model scenery baseboards?
I was wondering the same thing.
So
I think it is.
So it's quite a compact little layout. A lot of scope for actually doing scenery and stuff around that. And these make a nice project. We've got the scale model scenery baseboards are actually up here. I just screwed them in for somewhere to put them. They are twisting a bit, but that's mostly because of the way that I've mounted them. They are great actually if you want to be doing a small layout.
Yeah.
Oh my word. Warbler Production says, last time I had norovirus, I was hospitalised for a week with super high blood glucose and blood ketones that were dangerously high. Ooh. When I had norovirus, I ended up in the hospital as well.
I remember that.
Yeah,
You hallucinated me visiting you and then got confused when I showed up. What, you already here? No.
Yeah.
Thank you for sending that in, Nick. That's really interesting to see.
Oh, interesting. Chehalis Valley Rail Production says that's a General Electric U-Series on the left and an EMD SW1500 on the right.
Right.
Joshua W56 says, I made a stupid song about him loving the tickle monster and he's getting mad. Oh, the comment to Fly Mode Chairman 1.
Fair enough. So what's this one here, Jen? From Lee Birch?
Hi, I live in Sheffield and just started a new job. Went to Manchester Piccadilly a few weeks ago and spent time at TransPennines Express head office, and also spent time with platform staff arranging train dispatch. While waiting for departure time, I was allowed in the cab of an Avanti West Coast Class 390. So this is a picture from inside an Avanti West Coast Class 390.
Now, I recognise this from Train Sim World.
Yeah. It's actually, it's a far cry from the days of ye olde steam locomotives, isn't it? I was actually sat in the cab of a couple of different locomotives at the Severn Valley Railway.
You had
museum.
a hell of a day when we went to visit.
Yeah. JD1533 Workshop says, greetings from Queens, New York City. Oh, wait a minute.
A Monday clubber is never late, Frodo Baggins, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Thanks, Gandalf.
Don't get says we haven't done a 390 in Train Sim World. In that case, what was it? World of Trains? It was something like
They're
that.
suggesting it's a Class 395. You may be confusing.
I
it.
may be. I don't know.
But look, thanks so much for that. So we're going to flick back to where you are.
Jump back.
There we go. But somebody was saying before about getting inspiration for the top 10 list of locomotives locomotives that should appear ready to run that don't already. And my personal list, to be honest, if I was in charge, then I would think that for me, the A7 and T1, that's a 2-for-1 for me, because you could make that from the same suite of tooling. So I'm going to count that as only one. J92, I think, is a shoe-in. Also, I think it's the Z4. Now, I will be quite heavy on LNER locomotives for reasons, but then also a DX Goods, a C9 Atlantic,
And a parsnip from a Spersky.
Mansell Z-Class, definitely. But then also a Q1 tank locomotive. I really like the Q4 as well. I think the Q4 should appear ready to run. I quite like the big heavy freight locos. And then I think also a Class 01 shunter and an 06 shunter. They are glaringly missing, certainly the 06 shunter. So there's my top 10. If I was actually in charge, they're what I would pick. As an outside choice, a J77 and J78. I reckon you could make both of those carefully from the same tooling suite, but they are a little bit niche.
So next up we have from Charlie. Says, thanks for taking my call today. So that shows how long this has been.
Oh,
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
It's good. I think it really has to broadcast. So do I. And I'm really hoping.
Has nobody actually messaged you saying they want to get in touch?
Nope. We have had a message.
Oh.
So nope, not about the show. We will get the phone added in. Don't worry about that. He says I can push mine through StreamYard and I can invite people when they jump in. Yeah, StreamYard is something that I did look into, but I prefer this way of doing things.
I thought StreamYard wouldn't let you have the multiple cameras.
Yeah, we'd have to pipe orbs into StreamYard as our camera. But he has sent in some links to some shorts.
Hot Dog Pilot 63 says S160. Anybody? Actually, yeah, S160 definitely good.
Is this playing sound? I can't tell. I can't tell if that's... No, it isn't. Right, that's okay. I don't like the short system that we've got. I really don't.
No.
It doesn't...
It's like, I'm on a real computer. I actually really want to... Is it not giving you a...
No.
So we're gonna...
I can't rewind it or anything, so... I'm going to put the link into the chat, and we're going to bring it up in a second. Everyone's too shy for people to hear them online, says Sarah.
I
yes and
used
no.
to get that in radio as well, doing call-in shows.
Could you do me a favour and jump over to the... Yeah. So I'm going to reload this and we'll get to see it. Tampa to Miami via Iba City, is that?
Iba City,
That is
I
it.
don't know, yeah.
Look at that, and it just drives through the streets. It's huge,
You get
and
that
it's
a
going
lot.
through the streets.
LaGrange in Kentucky is a really great location for mainline trains trundling down the centre of town. Double deck as well, looking at some of these coaches.
It's as big as a house, and it's just trundling through the middle of the street. That is amazing to see.
Absolutely right. So we're going to...
That was great. Thank you for
so
saying
much. Right, just check that we're getting...
I'm trying to find the mouse on the screen, Jen.
Yeah, we're good, we're good.
See, I have to put up with this every time, Jack.
JD1533 Workshop says,
Charlie.
nobody I know over here likes UK Rail. I need to go to YouTube to get my fill. It's unfortunate. It's a bit like a US outline in the UK. It's a little bit more niche.
Right, we've got one from Charles Gibbs. These photos are of the Bachmann 64XX GWR pannier tank. There are many models of the GWR pannier tank, but how many, in Jenny's opinion, but how does, in Jenny's opinion, the Bachmann model compare with the others?
See, I don't have... I'm just going to bring this up on screen. I don't have the 64XX. I've got the 57XX. In fact, I've got several examples, all of which are in private owner liveries. None of them are actually in BR or GWR liveries. And I don't have a 64XX pannier. Now, I think that the Bachmann models are pretty reasonable. They also do a 94XX, again, something that I don't have. I quite like the model. Is this the factory weathered version? Or is this one you've weathered yourself? Because that is a really nice weathering job.
You've got a London Transport one, don't you?
Yeah, but that's a 57XX. This is a 64XX. It's slightly higher. The reason that London Transport bought the 57XX panniers, because they were lower, fit within the gauge.
until it says, I see a Panya and I like it very much.
And this is a really nice. I must get myself a 64XX.
I'm loving the
I keep there's one at in danger of Mark Wilson going, no, me bargains. There's one I keep seeing for sale, factory weathered BR lined green at Hereford Model Centre, and I keep getting quite tempted by it. I like those logs in the foreground. They work really well. Are they actually real bits of wood?
They're sticks.
Yeah. You can get some great effects with that.
Yeah.
Paddy Lee says, any chance of getting this on Spotify would be great to be able to listen to the shows on the way to work.
I haven't had a chance to set that up, but we will be looking into it.
Absolutely. Les Cliff.
Hello, Les. Good to see you.
Monday Clubber is never late, Frodo Baggins, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Thanks, Gandalf. And yeah, Valley's 56XX. There's good Bachmann 57XXs and earlier less good Bachmann 57XXs. Basically, you don't want the split chassis version under any circumstances. The best way of telling them apart is the ones that are DCC ready, they're good. The ones that are not DCC ready, probably best to avoid.
So tonight's, have we done the news?
I mentioned the Daypol ground signals. We've also got Alexandra Palace London Festival of Railway Modelling in 2 weeks' time. Weekend of 17th, 18th and 19th. I think it's only on the 18th and 19th, but I'm going down there on the 17th, which is the Friday. I
get a Friday to myself?
Yep. So I will be there at the London Festival of Railway Modelling. Really looking forward to it. It's always a great show. And let me just unplug that and move that out of the way. So really looking forward to it. Do come and say hello. Then I will be at the KR model stand on and off. So they bought my hotel room, so very nice of them. And it would be great to see as many people as possible. Oh, Burntisland!
Yes, so another one for Peter Jackson.
This is a clip, about 3 minutes or so, from a layout called Burntisland 1883, showing the operation of the coal hoist. It's an amazing piece of miniature engineering, and how it all works is brilliant. The layout was on show at the Model Rail Scotland exhibition over the last weekend. It was at Alexandra Palace last year as well. I did have a look at it. It's a phenomenal layout, one of my favourite. So, I'm going to bring this up. Look at this.
Oh, wow.
And this is like really quite cunning. It must be done with magnets. It's a little bit jerky. That suggests magnets. But this is... it just shows what you can do for that added play value. Although you can get fly shunting chassis kits
as well
for wagons, which is certainly something that you can simulate fly shunting quite well, or stuff like this. I love the wagon turntables, and however, I'm guessing this is done with magnets there, and then it's lifted up and it's going to tip its load.
This is so cool.
Back in the day, these would tend to be, I guess, hydraulically powered.
Look at all those ships as well.
The Aylesmead project says, if you're down in Plymouth Way and you're not full of sickness, you're welcome to come have a look and play on the layout. Unfortunately, I'm down in Newton Abbot on business tomorrow, so unfortunately I cannot stray, but because my business takes me to Trago Mills, I'm going to take a look, if I can,
Here we go.
at the Blue Peter Model Railway, which is apparently there, so really looking forward to that. Valley's 56XX says Duck was a 57XX and had the number 5741. So this is actually really, really all scratch built. I mean, this layout is set in 1883, so this is railway modelling on hard mode. Because quite frankly, getting ready to run stuff from that period is nigh on impossible.
Yeah, I can imagine. That is just amazing.
Yeah, there we go. Down we go. I'm actually really impressed by this. Ed Flame 4291 says Rapido announcing 2 new locomotives fitted with TRS train smoke system this year. One for the UK market and another for the US.
I'm really happy to see the TRS stuff getting into more mainline stuff. Mainstream is what I actually
Absolutely.
mean. It's a really good system. I was very impressed when we saw it.
Gus Hadley, the lunatic from Ammo. Great to see you in. I hope you're well. Hold on.
A Monday clubber is never
And then a
late
mini
to
turntable.
Nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Thanks, Gandalf.
That is so cool.
It really is a model engineering marvel. So I guess the train will be back to pick it up now. So here we
There
go.
you go. Oh wow. Then need to link up and off
Hey,
we go.
hold on, there's no locomotive. That's just freaky. So
Maybe
thank you.
there is a locomotive, you just can't see it because you don't
So
believe hard
thank
enough.
you so much for sharing that.
That was cool.
Ed Flame 4291 says my sound fitted Sonic Models Robinson A5 is arriving tomorrow. Yay! And the Aylesmead project says the model railway is pretty large and was run on an automatic system using magnets and reed switches with very little interaction from staff member. You'll like it. I've seen it before. I didn't realise it was fully automated. Really, really good.
It's called Burnt Island, not Burntisland.
That would be it.
So we've got something here.
Who corrected me?
That would be Carlton Tweedle.
Told you I can't pronounce stuff.
So what we got here is from our time-travelling correspondent, Mark Wilson,
Yes.
who's been back to
He's
1969
fired up his DeLorean.
at Paddington Station.
Okay,
So
yeah.
here we go. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Right.
Now here are the photos he took of the place when he was there.
Yes, and people there going, what is this flat device you are using? Ah, call me Snake. Says the loco has a cloaking device.
And then this is what he's
Oh,
built.
this is, we've watched him put this together over the last few weeks. It's just incredible.
It's jaw-dropping.
It is.
I honestly thought when I first glanced up that was another photo, but it's not.
No? A really, really great work from Mark
I'm just
Wilson.
amazed.
Trains, kits, etc. says one of the Concept A class tanks ready to run would be a real neat thing. Can I just say as well, I do know, and I'm obviously not going to tell you what it is, but Rapido will be making a new model announcement at
Is it the
Alexandra.
Mega Gronk?
No. They will be a new model announcement at Alexandra Palace, I believe, so watch out for that. Yeah, Peter Jackson Cheadle Hill, Mark Wilson's Time Machine.
Okay, I've got a question for you, Jen. We've
Yes.
seen the Class 03, the Class 04,
Yes.
the Class 08. What's a Class 01 and what's a Class 02?
And they're small four-wheeled diesel shunters.
Right.
The Class 01 is quite a big, bulky thing. Latterly, people would know them as the final two that got tops numbers 01001 and 01002. Actually worked on the Holyhead Breakwater Railway
Whoa.
through until 1981. That is a
That is
really
just
lovely
stunning.
atmospheric shot. I've tried actually in the past when we were out in the shed, got some video shots from the footbridge by
Yeah.
using this technique. But yeah, that is really, really well done.
It's seriously
The
good.
Class 02 was the Yorkshire Engine Company 040 shunter. They were a like-for-like replacement for the little puggy poos, the Lancashire and Yorkshire pugs. Iron Horse Railway says, marks the Mozart of modelling, the Picasso of Pico, the Da Vinci of 5-inchy.
I love it.
Ben Tellett says, Mark Wilson, hats off, you've done another great job. Please do one of these for an exhibition.
Ooh.
I think actually, if there's any exhibition managers watching, do get in touch with Mark, because I think that him bringing these to a show would be the most incredible centerpiece.
Absolutely.
Um,
Although you will need to farm out of space to deal with his time machine.
yeah. You need priority parking for the DeLorean outside.
It's simply stunning. The weathering It's great.
It's so
the detail on
subtle
the
but
posters
effective.
is so good as well.
Everything is perfect. Iron Horse Railway says, no, I want my gaggle of clowns, please. There's always
finished?
one, isn't there?
Yeah.
One that can't keep up. The only thing spoiling that for me is you can see the tension lock coupling on the coach.
Yeah. Well, again,
That is just incredible.
so it looks real, and I can't remember who said it, but when he said we're moving into the realm of photorealism. I said, yes, that is a photo. I'm sorry, but that's not a model. That's the real thing.
And James Pett says we need a nice 117 in those suburban platforms. Actually, at Wally, I finally managed to get myself a Class 117. Really pleased with it. I must run it more.
Valley's 56XX is Mark's layout. Does 88 miles per hour.
And Iron Horse Railway says never ever forget the straggler.
Wow. Look at
The detail
the
is
little
just
bits everywhere.
incredible.
It's so good.
Yeah, it's just incredible.
It's so good. Mark, I am overwhelmed with how much time and effort must have gone into this.
But he does it so effortlessly, and he shares his working actually on the Monday Club Facebook group. He shared pictures of this coming together. Green Reese Davies, oh hello.
A Monday Clubber is never late, Frodo Baggins, nor is he early. He arrives precisely when he means to.
Thanks, Gandalf. And Green Reese Davies says, Mark, reach out to me. Would be interested in having you for our Swansea show. Absolutely. I think that these would be an incredible thing to see exhibition.
It's amazing.
We've seen his Swindon Works one is incredible. There's also Stewart's Lane diorama. His Birmingham New Street as well.
Yeah.
Trains, Kits, etc. says, if you look under the baseboards, is there the underground there as well? I wouldn't put it past him. And Marin49 says, those 52s look sad. And there's a Class 22. Old Sad Eyes.
Yeah.
I quite like the 22. The 22s and the 29s, I do like.
Amazed, but my goodness.
And the
everything is
period
there.
correct chairs and posters.
So good.
The only thing it's really missing is the litter. Need some litter.
No, you don't.
Yeah. Iron Horse Railway says, for me it's the effort he puts into additional detail on the older rolling stock he has, showing you can still use the older Lima and Hornby stuff if you're willing to do shock horror, some modelling. Look
What?
at that.
Doing modelling on a model? What?
Wash your mouth out with soap. Peter Jackson Cheadle says, crew works next, Mark, please. And James Pett says, we just need some C stock.
David Dial says, could you do DCC control of the front indicator board?
Theoretically, you could. I think you could. And call me Snake. Says, this puts Hollywood special effects to shame.
Yeah.
I must admit, actually...
Mark Wilson says, litter was added yesterday.
Oh, right.
Oh my goodness.
Boom! Called it.
Oh.
But yeah, James Pett says, I'd rather wash my mouth out with soup than soap.
Soup would be cool. Yes. Wash your mouth out with soup.
Excellent.
Preferably broccoli.
Oswestry Road TMD. 50020 Revenge. Yeah, that's the one that Rails has commissioned from Akira Scale. And I think there's a hidden message in there somewhere as well.
Rewengi.
Yeah. But yeah, I think seeing those at exhibition, you need to give Mark the star treatment. Have a couple of white men with white glove turn up, pick up his gear for him, get it to the venue, put him up in a nice hotel. But yeah, I'm surprised that Hollywood doesn't beat a path to his door for actually doing model making for actual stuff.
Yeah, for all period stuff, that would be great.
Because you'd think that actually you could use his models and they'd probably work out a damn sight cheaper and easier and more effective than CG for doing period films.
To an extent. Okay, so next up we have from Upwell and onwards, here are a few shorts from my Kingston trip. Sadly, my full video is not due out until after next week.
Oh, okay.
So, let's have a look. I'll grab the first one.
Okay, so David Durrell says, where are the chocolate machines that you put money into and didn't give you any chocolate? Oh. I remember I used to work somewhere where the forklift truck drivers were very, very good at spotting. There was one vending machine that was in a black spot of the CCTV, and like 4 of them would pick it up and give it a shake and like knock all the stuff out and down into the bottom, and then they would feast on crisps and chocolate, and
So-
having not paid a penny. It was very naughty of them.
Very naughty. Wouldn't approve. Because they didn't give you any.
Yeah. So
Here we
this
are.
is
oh my goodness.
oh, choo choo.
That's a
So
big
that's a 464. So that's a Baltic. Is that a 46? I think that's a 464 Baltic.
Lovely weather for it as well.
Yeah, yeah.
That is
So it's
so
quite
nice.
a short one. So thank you.
Well, yes,
so,
it's a YouTube short. But
thank
it
you
gives
so much for that. So there we
gives you a
Turkey
reminder
rice
that
soups
just how
is
big these things are.
yeah. Just check the camera's working.
Give me a second. I'm trying to find the mouse.
Iron Horse Railway says the vending machine at Leeds once robbed me of a Spira bar back in the 90s.
What? Oh my goodness.
That's a blast from the past.
It's a blast
I
from
would have
your
given
ass.
it a really good kicking.
That's a blast from your ass.
Trains, kits, etc. says modelling is the gateway drug to the registering of rivets stored integer value.
Okay, this one is just amazing.
So we've got 9 minutes left. So
And we're going to finish off with this and then one more. So from Simon Poole, he says, "Hi Jenny and Zoe, hope you feel better, Jenny. I was at the New Mills and District Railway Modellers at Chapel on the Frith.
oh, the bog.
I noticed an exhibition layout called Bottom Hole, an N-gauge layout which has a gronk on a toilet.
Yeah, literally a gronk.
This is amazing.
so
It's hilariously like bad taste.
Yeah, bottom hole.
Oh, and it's even got a bit of used up loo roll there.
Oh,
Oh, that is amazing.
it's a sewage farm. I've just realised. Look, it's a sewage farm. Hey,
That is actually quite funny.
that's very meta.
That is so good.
Peter Jackson Cheadle Heath said this was brilliant.
I am actually impressed.
Yeah.
You can do a lot of fun stuff in a in a small amount of space.
As long as a small child doesn't lift your model railway out, put the seat down, and then make use of it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's sewage. Sewage works.
Bogs and Sons Railway. I love it. Oh, I could have another close look at that. That is actually
Yeah.
surprisingly well done. Well, I don't say surprisingly. That's a really well done one.
That is impressive. Sarah
Thank you
Davis
so
says,
much for
what
saying-
happens when you try to flush? David Dorrell, I think they did clean the toilet first.
I would hope
And-
so.
Call me Snake. It says, was it poo gauge as in P-O-O? Hey.
So thank you, Simon, for sending that in. That was really good.
Yeah.
Oh, he says, by the way, gronk it up.
Gronk it up. Gronk it up. Not a cult.
Oh, so we've got time for one more. We have a fair amount of things
We always
still
have
here,
a fair amount because we never get through.
but here we go.
So, right, so we've got Trepatrick Junction says, hi Jenny and Zoe. Hello.
Oh,
Many thanks for showing my layout video last October. It was much appreciated. Here is the latest video. Hope you enjoy it. So thank you so much. Keep up the fantastic videos, they say.
well, we try.
Oh, I've already seen a Backman C-Class and I do like this.
Go for it. That is the lighting.
I like the detail.
Back scene, the detail is so good. What's going on there on the bottom there?
Yeah.
Hey,
Ooh. And the TARDIS.
Yes.
TARDIS. I spot the TARDIS. Oh, look at
Oh,
the boat.
the boat was moving.
This is nice. And the drawbridge. And look at, there's a lot going on. Did you see the little sparking
I
as
did.
well?
That was. Oh, that is so good.
That is actually a really good effect. I think Train Tech do sell a module for doing that.
This is
There.
amazing.
Oh wow, look at that. This is really, really nice.
I need to see this at an exhibition
Oh,
as well.
I like that. Ben Tullett says toilet time. TT for short.
This is so good. Ed Flame 4291 says, does anyone know what time announcements are made at exhibitions by manufacturers? They choose their own time.
Yeah, usually sort of first
That's a
thing in the morning.
Metcalf Castle kit.
Yeah, and look the Fowler vehicles, and then we've got the wigwams.
So well done. This is really, really good.
Ham Shackleton says, just sent Zoe a photo of the last remaining bit of the Holyhead Breakwater Railway. So we were talking about the Class 01 earlier.
Right.
Oh, I do like the Hornby Pullmans. Can't be knocked. They are the finest Pullmans on the market with the light-up table lamps.
I
They
am
do
so
a few
impressed
different
with this.
versions. And then we've got the Bachmann C class, number 271, I think that's. I've got that same model. Running with the Eleni Artiques. Again, some of my favourite coaches. Sarah Daves, come on, enough with the poo jokes. That train was pootling along. I think I think we've tapped into a rich vein of poo jokes. I like the little
It
sparks.
hits the brown. Wow, that
Look
ground.
at the boat in the river.
Yeah.
I love that. That is a really incredible effect. I'm guessing using a Magna Rail or something. But we've got a working drawbridge.
This is so good.
And that boat in the river, I really like that effect.
Those the way they've done those trees, the grass, it looks real.
This is really nice. Nigel Cole also has the C class too, and says,
There's
"Oh
the
my
boat
god,
again, Jen.
look at that!
It's got to be Magna Rail. Or
I think it's Magna Rail, but it's a really effective use of it." Joshua
incredible.
W56, good night to you. Thank you for coming. Call me Snake. It says wiper pickups. You can get wiper pickups to fit to anything you want. DCC Concepts sell them.
You know, this I think is the
Look out
most
for the
impressive one we've seen tonight.
Look out for the spark. There.
There, yeah.
Yay!
I am really impressed.
Really, really effective. Although, why would it have its pan up and spark to the rails as well? Because it's
Why not?
either on third rail or it's running on overhead wires.
Uh,
Sorry.
maybe the panel
Those
was
rivets
stuck up.
aren't counting themselves.
I just like
I'm really enjoying this. This is a lovely little layout.
I think this is the most impressive one tonight. This is amazing. And it's given me some great ideas as well. Which is the part I
the
love
river.
about yeah.
For me, the take home is definitely the river with the Magna Rail.
Yeah. And this is why
It
I
makes me
love
think,
to
I
do
need
stuff
to-
on this
I need
show.
a river with
And
a-
showing people's layouts. Because it doesn't matter who you are, you can always get some inspiration from a little idea.
Growler Blackwood N-gauge layout's got to go as well. Good night to you. Good night. People are starting to drift off. We're only going for another 3 minutes. If you wanted
This
to
has
hang
been
on.
amazing.
We can't hang around because I've got to go to bed because I've got to get up at like sort of midnight.
Thank you so much for showing that
But
to
yeah,
us. To Patrick.
I'm
That's
loving
great.
this.
It's a long video, so there's a lot to see. And I'm going to suggest you all go and have a look.
Oh, there's the castle.
Oh,
With some really nice like creepers added to it.
and
And,
a
oh,
crow
I
sitting on
love
top
that.
as well.
Actually, I think that's using magnets.
I can see the line underneath.
Oh, he's caught the reeds, which is actually quite an interesting effect. That river
Yeah.
is really, really nice.
This
I
is
do
amazing.
like that. I would suggest putting something like a slippy felt underneath your boat. Otherwise, over time, it will scrape and abrade the surface of the water.
Birds on the wires.
That is really nice.
The
There's
attention to
so
detail
much
is
going on
wonderful.
this. So this is, yeah, as Valley's 56XX says, it's a railway in a landscape,
Yes.
the best kind. Absolutely, and the attention to detail, really, really nice. And the Fowler car system, I think,
So
actually no,
good.
looking at the front
So
wheels,
good.
that might be Magna Rail as well.
So good.
But definitely, oh look, and we've got a little bit of a bonfire or something
Yeah.
going on there.
This is a wonderful layout. Right, guys, let's pop back to the
Okay.
channel.
So
That
look,
was wonderful. Thank you so much for
really
sending that
enjoyed
over.
that actually. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joel from Trepatrick. That was wonderful.
Absolutely.
But Jen, do we have a sponsor today?
We do. So just got time for a quick word from our sponsor. The Monday Club comes in association with Roca Prototype Models, where detail, accuracy and value for money go hand in hand. With their debut model of SafePack auto racks wowing model railroaders alike, now is your chance to order these in road names and configurations to accurately reproduce auto rack workings from 1974 to the present day on your model railroad. Order today from rocamodels.com and see the full range for yourself.
And that was always a pleasure from Roca Prototype Models there. Love their stuff. It's amazing.
Absolutely. But look, thank you everybody for coming and joining us. Don't forget to tickle that like button and also share the stream too. And also don't forget that you can check out our full merch store down underneath the video. We've also got a Patreon page. You can head on over to Patreon and help support the channel to keep making the videos that you want to see. Helps keep the lights on. And we've got multiple tiers of rewards for that. But until next time, this is me, Jenny Kirk, saying you take great care of yourself. Happy modelling. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
The train now departing is the 2101 service to Bottom Junction.
Hey, what?
Stopping at... That's engaged there on the toilet. Stopping at Grove Street Yard, Minneth Tatis, Tatis Newith. That's unknown layout that didn't have a name, but Jen insisted when we were talking on it one time it did have a name, even though it didn't. And then on to Bottom Junction. That's the 2101 service to Bottom Junction. If you go up to the loft today, you're sure of a big surprise. If you go up to the loft today, you'll never believe your eyes. For every train there ever was has gathered there together because today's the day that Jenny does the Monday Club. Good night.
Take care, everybody. Hold on, there's a tumble of clowns. Where have you all come from? Hey, one of them's got a trombone. And of course the straggler.